After taking hundreds of flights, I've realized something that most travelers never think about. A lot of the little things passengers do, things that seem harmless or even polite, can actually drive flight attendants completely crazy. And here's the kicker, I'm almost certain you've done at least one of them. I know I have, and let me tell you, once you see things from a crew's perspective, you'll never look at these habits the same way again. So buckle up, today we're going through all the surprising things you should never do on a flight, why they matter more than you think, and how to avoid becoming that passenger. Touching flight attendants to get their attention. This one is at the very top of the list. No matter how desperate you are for water, a blanket, or anything else, don't touch your flight attendant. That means no tugging on sleeves, no tapping arms, no grabbing shoulders. Remember, flight attendants are moving quickly, often carrying trays of hot drinks, and are focused on multiple safety checks. Being grabbed out of nowhere is not just disrespectful, it can be dangerous. So how do you get their attention? The simplest way, just use your voice. A polite "excuse me" or waiting until they're close enough to make eye contact works perfectly. They're trained to notice passengers, but they're not mind readers. And absolutely don't reach into their service cart to grab a snack or drink. Not only is it unsanitary, those carts are filled with sharp objects, boiling liquids, and carefully organized supplies. You might spill something, break something, or contaminate the area. Bottom line, keep your hands to yourself. Respect their space the way you'd want someone to respect yours. Skip the pet names. This one might surprise you, what you call a flight attendant matters. Terms like honey, sweetheart, or darling might sound harmless, but to most crew members, they come across as patronizing. These are professionals doing a serious job, not extras in your personal rom-com. Instead, if they have a name tag, use it. Nothing makes a person feel more respected than being addressed by name. If not, a simple ma'am or sir works just fine. And here's a cringeworthy story I once overheard. A passenger loudly referred to his flight attendant as his in-flight wife. Everyone nearby winced. The poor flight attendant laughed it off, but you could tell it wasn't the kind of joke that landed well. And while we're at it, never snap your fingers at a flight attendant. That's one of the rudest gestures you can do to anyone, anywhere, not just on a plane. Keep your shoes on. Okay, let's address something that should be obvious but somehow isn't. Don't go barefoot on planes. Multiple airlines have already banned it because it's unhygienic and unpleasant for everyone else. Think about it, plane floors see hundreds of people every day, and deep cleaning doesn't happen between every flight. If you're walking barefoot, you're basically stepping through a cocktail of germs, food crumbs, spilled drinks, and bathroom residue. Now, taking off your shoes but keeping your socks on is usually tolerated, but keep in mind, nobody wants to smell your socks either. If you know your feet aren't exactly rose-scented, maybe just keep those shoes on. And whatever you do, don't put your feet up on the seat in front of you, on the bulkhead wall, or, this one blows my mind, on the armrest of the seat next to you. That's not only gross, it's deeply inconsiderate. Pro tip, bring a pair of fresh socks or slippers in your carry-on. That way you can stay comfortable without traumatizing your fellow passengers. Be mindful of smells. Since we're already on the topic of feet, let's talk smells in general. The cabin is a closed environment with recycled air. That means if you crack open a tuna sandwich, spray a heavy perfume, or wear clothes you've just sweat through, you're sharing that with everyone on board. Flight attendants deal with this constantly, and they can't escape. Imagine working 3 back-to-back flights with the lingering smell of fish, garlic, or strong cologne in the cabin. Not fun. So before you board, think twice about the food you're bringing, the fragrance you're wearing, or whether the gym bag should really be in the overhead bin. Don't make special requests during boarding. Boarding is one of the busiest, most stressful parts of the job for flight attendants. They're counting passengers, managing overhead space, checking seatbelts, and coordinating with the pilots. So if you walk on board and immediately ask for water, a blanket, or advice on your connecting flight, you're interrupting an extremely time-sensitive process. And here's another one, don't try to rush to the bathroom during boarding. Not only does it block the aisle, but it can also throw off the official head count, which may delay takeoff. Remember, you just walked past multiple restrooms in the terminal. Use those before boarding, it's cleaner, bigger, and much less stressful. Don't hog the overhead bin. Few things spark as much passenger drama as the overhead bins. Here's the rule: those bins are for suitcases and large carry-ons only. If you're putting jackets, hats, or small purses up there, you're taking away space from someone who doesn't have another option. Those smaller items should go under the seat in front of you. And here's a big no-no: asking flight attendants to lift your heavy bag. They're trained in safety, not weightlifting. Back injuries from luggage are one of the top medical issues in this career. If you can't lift it yourself, consider checking it or politely ask a fellow passenger for help. Pay attention during the safety demo. Yes, you've probably seen the safety demonstration dozens of times. But here's the truth: ignoring it is more disrespectful than you think. Flight attendants notice when people keep their headphones in, chat through the whole thing, or roll their eyes. Imagine giving a presentation while your audience stares at their phones. That's what it feels like. And let's be real, emergencies are rare, but when they happen, those instructions matter. Ignoring them is not only rude, it's dangerous. Don't break the rules you just heard. It may feel tempting to tune out the safety announcements, but those instructions aren't there for fun, they're essential for keeping you safe. If you ignore them and keep your laptop out, leave your seatbelt undone, or stash your bag in the aisle, you're not just being careless, you're showing blatant disrespect for the crew and other passengers. And here's the kicker: pretending your seatbelt is fastened when it's not doesn't fool anyone. Flight attendants are trained to spot this instantly. They've seen every trick in the book, and trust me, they'll know. Don't record flight attendants without permission. We live in an age where pulling out a phone and hitting record is second nature. But when you're on a plane, that can create unnecessary problems. Flight attendants are there to ensure your safety, not to become the unwilling stars of viral "look at this mean crew" videos. Recording them without consent adds stress, tension, and distracts them from doing what really matters. Think of it this way: how would you feel if someone filmed you at work without permission? Keep the camera on your trip, your meals, or your views out the window, not on the people making sure you arrive safely. Don't switch seats before takeoff. Shuffling around the cabin might feel harmless, but it can throw off the crew's carefully planned safety checks. Before takeoff, flight attendants need to know exactly who's sitting where in case of emergencies or head counts. If you move before clearance, it causes confusion that can affect evacuation protocols. Want to change seats? Wait until the seatbelt sign switches off. At that point, if the cabin isn't full, you can usually move without issue. Until then, sit tight and let the crew do their job. Be ready for drink and meal service. One of the easiest ways to frustrate a flight attendant is being completely unprepared when the beverage cart arrives. Don't act like the drink question came out of nowhere. Look at the menu in the seat back pocket ahead of time, or at least have a couple of options in mind. Water or Coke is an easy answer. The same goes for meal service. Put your tray table down, decide quickly, and please don't make a scene if your first choice is gone. They can't magically conjure more chicken if it's all gone. Don't treat the seat back pocket like a trash can. It's tempting to shove snack wrappers, tissues, or empty bottles into the seat back pocket, but here's the truth: it's not designed to hold garbage. Flight attendants do multiple trash runs throughout the flight, so just hold on to your waste until then. And please, don't try to hand over your garbage while they're serving meals. It's unhygienic, inconsiderate, and frankly just gross. Respect the crew and wait for the proper collection time. Use the call button wisely. The call button exists for a reason, but pressing it every 10 minutes for minor requests only makes life harder for the crew. Remember, they're juggling safety, service, and dozens of passengers at once. And here's a crucial point: don't hit the button when the seatbelt sign is on. If they're required to stay seated, they can't help you anyway, and you're putting them in an awkward position. Save it for genuine needs, not convenience. Buckle seatbelts over blankets. Here's a pro tip many people don't know: if you're going to sleep, fasten your seatbelt over your blanket. That way, if turbulence hits, the crew can see you're buckled without waking you up. Don't dig into overhead bags mid-flight. Needing something from your overhead luggage mid-flight can be a nightmare for everyone else. The aisle gets blocked, overhead bins get tricky to handle when the plane's in motion, and there's always the risk of something falling onto another passenger. Plan smarter: keep your essentials like headphones, books, medication, or chargers in your personal bag under the seat. That way, you don't have to disturb everyone around you for something small. Don't stand the moment you land. We've all seen it, the plane touches down and half the passengers immediately jump up, cramming the aisle before the doors even open. Not only is this unnecessary, but in some countries, it's actually illegal and comes with heavy fines. For example, in Turkey, you could be fined hundreds of dollars for standing before clearance. The doors won't open any faster just because you're standing. Take a breath, relax, and wait for the seatbelt sign to switch off. You'll get off safely and with a little more dignity when it's actually time. Always say thank you. This one costs nothing but means everything. Say thank you. Crew members deal with exhausting schedules, cranky passengers, and safety responsibilities. A simple smile and thanks as you exit can genuinely brighten their day. Don't try to reboard after deplaning. Once you've stepped off the plane, you can't go back, period. Even if you left your phone or passport behind, crew members are not allowed to let you reboard. So before you leave, do a sweep of your seat, check the floor, the seat back pocket, and the overhead bin. Save yourself the stress later. Bonus section, seat reclining etiquette. Few things cause more mid-air arguments than the reclining seat. Technically, you have the right to recline, but should you? Here's the rule of thumb, do it politely. Recline slowly, glance back to make sure no one's mid-meal or using a laptop, and avoid full recline on short-haul flights. Remember, just because you can doesn't mean you should. Bonus section, traveling with kids. Parents, listen up. Flight attendants know kids get restless, but there are ways to make it easier on everyone. Don't let your kids kick the seat in front of them. Bring snacks and activities, don't rely solely on the in-flight entertainment. Change diapers in the lavatory, not on tray tables. Yes, this happens. A little preparation goes a long way. Bonus section, personal hygiene. This one is sensitive but important. Planes are tight spaces, everyone can smell everything. Avoid dousing yourself in heavy perfume. Don't trim nails or groom in your seat. Yes, people actually do this. Bring deodorant or wipes if it's a long-haul flight. Your neighbors will thank you. Final thoughts. Flying is stressful enough without passengers making it harder for each other or for the crew who keeps us safe. At the end of the day, all of these rules boil down to respect for the flight attendants, respect for your fellow passengers, and respect for the shared space you're in. Follow these tips, and not only will your flight be smoother, but you'll also help make the job of the crew much easier. And who knows, maybe you'll even get some extra kindness in return. So now I want to hear from you. What's the most annoying thing you've ever seen on a flight? Bare feet? Loud talkers? Trash everywhere? Drop your stories in the comments, I can't wait to read them. Don't forget to hit subscribe for more travel tips and hacks. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.